On behalf of the family, may I just hand over two envelopes? One is the letter, please. One is the letter that was given to the CBI, just to bring some facts to the attention of the CBI. Perhaps CBI is already taking cognizance of that. The other aspect is very alarming. There is a lot of social media posts, both which are actually using her real photograph and her name. And there are rampant social media posts which the family is running into. It is not only causing a lot of anguish, it is actually totally illegal.
It's
And
now
this-
passed
crime.
an order.
It's crime.
It's section
Now,
70.
there's no point in us continuing to pass the same order. We've already passed one order.
May I make a
Now it's
suggestion
for the law
in that regard?
enforcement authorities to enforce that order,
My
basically.
lord, may I
it's
make
only
just-
to
just a minute,
Wikipedia.
Just a minute. No, it's not Wikipedia. Please, I've given.
The
Just-
direction was
yes, yes.
Wikipedia. Please
My lords may just have a look at this. May I make a suggestion? Because I don't think an order is going to actually stop people immediately from posting. It's very difficult for the family to go around litigating against each individual post that is being made. Can there be a nodal officer and an email ID that is provided by the Union of India? They themselves also review this repeatedly, and we can bring it to their attention as and when it comes to the family's attention, and then it can be swiftly taken down in accordance with law.
What distance are taking?
It's very disturbing, the kind of pictures that are being put up.
And reels, my lords, using AI with her image.
My lords,
And
I-
making
let
it
me
a
just-
Hindi
let
film
me-
song.
Let me finish.
You have to ensure that the law enforcement authorities.
Lord, there's also
I
film.
can't go.
We've already passed
Your
direction.
lordships have passed the general direction twice, so there is no point in repeating that. Lord, essentially, it would be the state subject. But if my learned friend gives me any link, Lord, will provide for Lord a particular.
So, Devi, actually, now with the judicial order which we have passed, the state of West Bengal must also immediately contact all these social media sites.
We
which
will
are-
also do that.
It's an ongoing work which you have to continuously do, because it's not like you're contacting one
Yes.
media channel and saying that, look, you give this apology or something like that.
Correct.
It's just
So, but
proliferating.
It multiplies.
we'll certainly look into it, Lord, but I believe at the national level, it has to be tackled.
My lord, that's
We will
I
do
have got
anything
difficulty.
to
Lord, I am
that
agreeing
Both the
immediately.
governments-
We'll give my lord one number, my learned friend, my lord, or anyone else, my lord, whoever finds
Yes.
that either name or depiction or
All right, so
photograph.
this part now you are between
Please,
you. You don't need an order from us.
There is
As
an
a-
operator.
My lord, just one more
That's an
aspect.
issue.
We will
But the
talk-
commissioner of police, the ex-commissioner of police, who's now been transferred, he himself gave a press interview in which he disclosed the name.
My lord, before we
On the very
do that,
same
can
day.
I just finish, please?
Yes.
With respect to this, there is also a film that is going to be released tomorrow on YouTube, which says that it is based on RG Kaur incident. I am not at all saying that nobody should speak, nobody should express themselves. That's not the submission. However, would that interfere with the investigation, which is at a very early and sensitive stage? Secondly, how has she been portrayed? Will it in any way be, and I've attached that screenshot also, because that's already being publicized on
Actually,
social media.
if some film is being released and you want to stop the release of the film, you have to take recourse to independent remedies and law.
I bowed on my lords. I'm not making that. I'm only bringing it to the attention that this is, as my lord said, proliferating. If there is a nodal person appointed by the Union of India, it would then be someone we can contact or pass on the information for them to take action in accordance with law.
Mr. Solicitor, what you can do is that you can just identify, maybe in the cybercrime unit of the Ministry of Home Affairs or any appropriate agency, one nodal person who can be available for anybody to say that, well, this is the clip.
It would be, my lord, it may not be Ministry of Home Affairs, it would be IT.
Methi.
IT.
Yes.
Meiti, my lord,
Meiti
we'll
will-
give the my lord one nodal
So
officer.
that you can,
And if my learned
you
friend
can duly publicize it. And in which case, any clip which has to be pulled down,
Yes.
that intimation can be given by email or whatever to that particular
There is a system.
portal. Just put it into place and
Certainly.
My
No,
lords,
just the
one
only-
line in an order might be required, because on the last occasion, para 7 speaks specifically to Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
What my lords had said in Shreya Singhal, and I was before my lords in that matter, is that takedowns can only happen by court order.
so we passed that order.
Yes, my lords. Yes.
We've already passed
Yes.
that order.
Well, coming back to the
No, my
police.
lords, that may be passed then in
No,
today's order.
last order. it's-
That was
it's-
specific.
Specifically on
It was
Wikipedia, my lords.
Wikipedia, not
Only vis-a-vis
Just say
Wikipedia.
any intermediate.
the parents of
Yeah,
the parents of the deceased
This is
have been disconcerted by repeated clips in the social media referring to photographs and the name of the deceased.
Videos, my lords. Reels.
Besides these clips, videos have also proliferated in the social media. Stop. The earlier order of this court shall, it is clarified, not be confined only to Wikipedia, but shall apply in relation to all
Intermediaries.
intermediaries, and full stop, to reiterate, comma, there shall be, to reiterate, no intermediary shall allow or carry the publication of the name of the deceased, comma, her identity, photographs or videos, either pertaining to the incident at the RG Kaur Medical College or otherwise.
Please, my lords.
So that's a preventive order. As far
On the request of the court, the Solicitor General has stated that the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, into brackets MIT, shall nominate a nodal officer to whom any communication in relation to the unauthorized uploading of content or information pertaining to the deceased can be intimated, so that necessary action can be taken with the intermediary concerned for pulling down such publication or dissemination.
I'm grateful, my lords.
In fact, we need to go a step ahead and let the Ministry of Information Technology lay down some due diligence guidelines for the future also. After all, these incidents may happen, may recur. So let the ministry, since we are taking up this.
There must be something, my lord. If there is none, we will take care.
MIT may also consider laying down guidelines.
There are some, my lord. There are some.
Guidelines to govern such cases, consistent with the judgments of this court and the
If not
governing
already.
provisions of law.
But as regards the police commissioner, his infraction already, which amounts to a criminal act under 72.
My learned friend agrees, also says that there is a guideline in.
There is a legal system in place. There's an empowerment under sections of the IT Act and rules framed thereunder. There's no need for further directions from this court, my lord, because
Right.
it can go to the other extreme of censorship.
sentence,
One has to be very
No,
careful.
yeah, no, nobody is.
Exactly.
Nobody is now on
Let me-
censorship.
We'll
my lord.
we'll
That
delete
is-
that last
is
sentence
some
from
other-
today's order. If there is some deficiency pointed out to us on the next occasion,
Please,
we'll
my
then
lord.
couple
we'll
on.
do that.
So the Calcutta High Court,
Just
a
one
matter
second,
came up.
Mr.
Yes.
Murali. My lord, if I may request your lordship to direct the registrar of this court to give wide publicity to this order, this particular order passed today, so that the general public is put to notice.
It would be, it would get wide publicity. my lord. Now,
My lord, that I understand, but
as a matter of fact, it might end up defaming the girl more.
it's not true, Mr. Mehta. The general public needs to be put to notice. Not everybody reads judgments of this court.
I don't think, my lord, that may be necessary. That might end up, my lord,
All right.
defaming
Now,
the.
this part we'll move on from.
Well, just one
Now,
last point.
before, Mr. Solicitor, you got the latest report of the CBI?
yes.
Let's see the
But
aspect.
just one point, Because the Calcutta High Court was seized over a couple of petitions, one of which I appeared in last time, where the petitioner is seeking monitoring of an FIR to be lodged. Till today, no FIR has been lodged against the police commissioner, then police commissioner, who on emerging from the hospital,
He named
reveals
her.
the identity of of the lady. He reveals the identity. Now, those petitions are pending. The Calcutta High Court said, we don't know whether the Supreme Court is going to take up that matter as well. Please get us a clarification whether we can deal with this matter. But it's, Lordship, strictly speaking, are dealing with the faults in the investigation, the deficiencies in the investigation, etc. This is an ancillary issue where somebody has already committed a crime. Whether it's going to be part of that, your Lordship will just decide.
Put it to Mr. Dwivedi now.
My lord, done within 24 hours.
That is wrong. There is very substantial leads which have come up during the course of the investigation by the CBI. And they've given us a very elaborate statement of where the investigation is, what steps they have taken on the basis of the leads which you had given them,
Please, my lords.
and where they are presently situated. So obviously, let CBI
Yes.
continue to
Yes.
investigate, because it's important that these leads are not missed.
Please, my lords.
They have given us a statement on both aspects. The first part of the investigation, which deals with the alleged rape and murder, and the second on the financial irregularities, which were referred by the judgment of the Calcutta High Court, order of the Calcutta High Court to CBI. So they have bifurcated it in two parts and given us an elaboration on what is happening on both the fronts.
My lord, has the IPDR report?
Mr. Solicitor, just one thing, please tell them. The injuries seem to have been accentuated by the fact that she was wearing braces and her glasses. How is it that she was wearing glasses at that particular point? Was she attacked when she was asleep? Or
She
when
was asleep. my lord. Yeah.
Then how is it that she was wearing her glasses?
My lords, you can just doze off, you can lie down.
Was the body found with glasses on? Because ask CBI to
The
just,
glasses were not on.
because
Because the Caesar list,
no.
the Caesar list of the particular day says that the glasses were broken and were found lying beside her.
Yes.
On the mattress.
Have not removed it, my lord, because of the fatigue and she may have gone to sleep.
My lord, another thing is whether the CBI has yet submitted the IPDR report, because that is the game changer for your lordships to understand what was the traffic, the internet traffic that was going on between the accused,
It's already been.
the victim, and it's a detailed report because it's called the Internet Protocol Detailed Report. Now, before what happened was that the investigating agencies did not have much of a
So
problem.
the traffic between the accused,
It can be anything.
Right.
Yeah. Basically, the data is collected from the particular service provider. After it is collected, then it is
We
analyzed.
have recovered, I
It is
see.
all.
No, not recovery. I want the report. What is the report? Because it
obviously,
analyzed.
they are following up those.
Yes.
Let us only say that they have, solicitors said that they have recovered that data. They are following up further investigating that.
Now, the second is whether, I do not know whether they have again examined Debashish Som, who happens to be one of the main persons concerned, because he was first examined, then he went into a hospital, he was released on the 12th of September.
Who's Debashish Som?
He is the main person with regard to the forensic. If there's any blotch-up being done with regard to the forensic report, squarely it goes to the North Bengal lobby and to this person
No,
called
no,
Debashish.
Debashish Som in
He's part of the forensics of RG
He
Corp.
has been examined.
He was examined prior to 12. Then he went, of a panic attack, he went into hospital. I think that's what newspaper reports say.
he was an employee of the Calcutta police, or?
No, he's a doctor from RG Corp.
Yes.
He's a forensic doctor from RG Corp. And who happens to be very close to the person, Molai, Banerjee or Chatterjee, I don't remember, and the main person who was the head.
Debashish Som in this status report?
I don't think, my lord, I didn't get the name.
Just 1 second.
Mentioned here, he was examined before hospitalization. And my lord, I may not, my lord, right now say much on that.
Now the report states anything about one person called Dr. Chandan Sen and whether his case file has been studied. Why it assumes great significance is that this Chandan Sen belonged to Ranaghat Municipal Hospital. He was murdered in the year 2003. Same fact. He was murdered, she was murdered. What was the racket involved? The racket involved was with regard to fake medicine. Medicine being sent out. And there was also a Bangladeshi module as per the reports of that point of time. As far as RG Corp is concerned, there is also a Bangladeshi module whereby the bio waste was being sent into Bangladesh.
Sir, I would request my learned friend, rather than, my lord, detailing
Because
this in
Chandan
open court,
Sen's
let him write down and give it to me in a
We have
sealed cover.
already permitted anybody who wants to furnish any information.
No, they give me in a sealed cover and I
Not
send them in a sealed condition.
ये बंद कर दो।
My lord,
It
on
will not be appropriate to discuss it loudly. You just write it down and give it to me in a sealed cover. It would immediately be given to the CBI.
Is the accused persons were convicted. Then in the appellate court, they were acquitted. Before this Hon'ble court also, because the evidence collected was such that even before this Hon'ble court, the acquittal stood. And that is the reason why all the elderly people, because this happened 21 years back, and that Dr. Chandan Sen's memory is what ignites the elderly people of Kolkata to come onto the streets.
My lords, we have
on
handed
the
our
last
papers.
occasion, my lord, I had given some names. I had said I would give names of persons who were present at the scene of the crime on the invitation of the principal of the college, who had nothing to do with the college, nor were they on duty at that time. They arrived even before the police arrived on the scene. And we have reason to, yes, sir.
Seven names, 7 names.
I have 4 names. I don't have 7 names.
Jaising, that's a part of the report to the CBI.
Yes,
does
Lord,
the-
with their designations. Some of them are elected members of the West Bengal Medical Council. So this is the reason why we are arguing that this is not just a plain and simple murder and rape. There are many more people involved in the incident that has taken place.
Please, all that we'd like to say right now is that the report by the CBI does specifically advert to this. So let's leave it at that because we have further probing.
I did not mention the names in open court. Two of them I did give to the Solicitor General. There are two more which I will forward to him in sealed
My
cover.
lords, on the next occasion, there is a priority, my lords, with regard to
In
this
fact,
financial.
Solicitor, your report at Roman 9 at page 6.
No, on
Ro-
this, my lord,
on this
page-
Roman
yes,
9 at
yes,
page
yes, yes, page 6 and 7, where my learned friend, Ms. Jai Singh's, my lord,
That sentence, all of them,
yes,
so on and so forth.
My
and
lords,
so-and-so, they belong to so-and-so,
So-
and also members of.
Fair enough, fair enough.
my lords, just one thing with regard to this is that a lot of these people who have been mentioned, I am told, in the CBI report with regard to financial irregularities, but also being present at the scene of the crime when they had no business to be, many of them are in positions of power even today.
Even today.
And this is what is contributing to the threat culture, the enabling of threats, my lords.
My lord,
So, my lord,
why-
if they could be, based on a prima facie appreciation of the status reports and the CBI investigation, sought to be suspended temporarily from their positions until the investigation is over.
My lord, this is
That
one of
is
the
what we are
prayers.
seeking, my
My lord, this is one of the prayers which we have made in an application file before the court, which I would like to address you on. My lord, today, repeatedly, it has been said that the doctors are not going back to work. The first statement I wish to make is the state of West Bengal has acknowledged in its reply that we are all back at work. I would like that statement.
Right now,
One
that's not
second.
the-
Yes, it is. No, Mr. Mehta, it is linked. I'm trying to explain what accounts for the 51-day delay in their going back to work. I'm making a statement. I made a commitment on the last date of hearing that they will hold a general body and take a decision to go back to work. I am discharging that obligation by making a statement in writing that they have all gone back to work, and the state of
That's
West
not
Bengal
correct.
has acknowledged that in a reply filed by them today. So that issue, my lord, can be put to rest.
No.
Secondly, my lord, now the question is, what about the repetition of what happened last time? It is in that context that we say that the people who are being investigated by the CBI, 7 in number, are still in employment. And all that we are requesting is, this is the reason they didn't go back, because these people who are under investigation are still in employment in Archikot. And we only request temporary suspension of these people pending the inquiry so that we can go back there with a sense of confidence that they will not target us. Lord, I know an undertaking has been given and I make a statement, we've not been targeted. I've made that statement, my Lord. But how does one expect them to work in the same college when the same people who are under investigating are still, Lord, in positions of power? Therefore, only they should be suspended. Lord, I know that no disciplinary action can be taken against them until a proper inquiry is held. But surely, my Lord, they can be suspended to inspire that confidence.
Let's hear Mr. Dwivedi. Yes,
So that's what
Regarding-
we have, not in this language, but we have hinted at that, my lord, that if your lordship comes to page 7, just, my lord, at the top of the page, doctors belonging to so-and-so and also members of so-and-so, they claim that they tried to pacify the agitating training doctors. However, the agitating trainee doctors allege that aforementioned doctors were working on behalf of administration and also obstructing protests. Further investigation is.
My Lord, let's leave aside the
It's
protest.
not
We are not
restricted to
on
RG
protest
Kaur.
anymore.
It's not restricted to RG Kaur. The people in positions of power are in positions of power with regard to the medical examinations, the examination board, the corporation that takes tenders, and the West Bengal Medical Council, my lords.
Mr. Solicitor, by the next date of listing,
My lords.
this is something on which you must apprise the court. I mean, who are the people, even on, forget whether they were involved in any conspiracy to hush up the murder, or that's a very important aspect, but keep that aside for a moment. Are there any people presently who are under investigation, who are in positions of authority in the hospital, against whom there is an allegation of involvement in financial irregularities?
Or my Lord, with the crime.
Or with
Both.
the first crime.
Inside
Both-
and outside the
With
hospital.
cover up and the financial irregularities.
Both are
Yes,
crimes.
Both
yes.
are financial.
Either of the crimes or both of the crimes.
So let us know, because then.
So let
Mr.
CBI indicate, my lord, to us, my lord, who are those people, and we'll, my lord,
That's
then take.
No, we'll give them the names and see. We'll give them the names, that's no
Because,
problem.
Mr. Solicitor, ultimately, any action has to be taken by the state government as the disciplinary authority. For us to issue a direction of a general nature right now, without being in possession of full facts, would be really to take over that jurisdiction of a disciplinary authority. So I think it would be appropriate if at this level, at least there is some sharing of information.
Yes.
Yes,
I will-
On what with the state government, so that then they can, because suppose they were to take action, and there is a petition challenging that action, the first question would be, what is the basis on which you have acted? Second, of course, you can suspend in anticipation of a disciplinary inquiry, but they must have some material. Have you, as a state government, have you taken any call on any disciplinary action against
We
the other
were told
person?
about 5 doctors, they have been, my lord, suspended, action have been taken. Rest, if CBI, as and when they tell us, my lord, something specific against them, or that they have been made accused, because investigation is very wide.
Who are the 5 doctors in RG Corps whom you have suspended?
Who are the 5 persons? I'm sorry.
The recommendation is with the head of the postmortem is supposed to be the head of the threat culture.
Sir, there are many more than that. My lord, we
Just an
are
argument.
willing to share the names with the state of West Bengal. And my lord, if they are not suspended, they can at least be asked to proceed on leave during this pendency of the CBI inquiry. Because my lord, otherwise we'll be told again and again, you're protesting, you're not going back to work. My lord, it's been a big effort convincing them to go back to work. We've succeeded, and they have gone back to work. But the reason I'm raising this issue is, my lord, I don't want to come back to the court and say it's happening all over again. So let them just go on leave. I will give the names.
Please
My
give
lord.
the names to the CBI.
No,
And I will give
Learned
the names
Judge-
as well, my lord.
Chief Justice is saying it's for the state.
Mr. Saidi?
Please, my application 213387 is specifically on this issue on behalf of doctors working across the state of West Bengal, where we have named specific individuals who are involved as part of the so-called mafia syndicate nexus, whatever my lord seems to call it. But this is the specific issue that we have identified, that the underlying motivation and the interstate nexus, not intrastate nexus, which is singularly responsible for what has ultimately happened, needs to be investigated. We have identified individuals in our application. That is the application number 213387.
Now,
So we will share
presently,
those details.
presently, we are looking at 2 aspects of RG Corps.
Please.
One, the actual incident which took place,
Please.
and the issue of financial irregularities.
Because this goes beyond our
Now-
is the
It
entire.
does go beyond that, my lord.
Absolutely.
My lord, today it's a question of
Just one
doctors
second.
going back to work.
The only question is that today, if we expand the investigation across other hospitals,
Please.
then we'll be in a situation where CBI will be left with an impossible situation. We are focusing on RG Corps, but rest assured, thereafter we'll see on what further to do. You have moved that application, that's important. At this stage, I think what you can do is, you can, Mr. Solicitor, you can look at the, IA, so that, if there is any further, if there is a need for broadening the investigation, you can apprise the court, and then we can pass whatever supportive orders are necessary to effectuate that purpose.
Sir.
But if this is a part of a broader nexus, either intra or interstate, then certainly this is a matter which we'll have to entrust to the CBI, of course. But before we do that, we must have some concrete materials
Yes, sir.
from
Shall,
the applicants,
examine
and which
that.
we may share with the CBI.
No, because we have been cautious. We have been cautious in sharing the material because of the investigation is pending. I said, I have it in writing, but I'm not mentioning the names.
They are not going to take action because of the various doctors or groups of doctors or associations who are coming up with their own grievances and asking
No,
for here and there. Just a minute, please. On the last occasion, my lord, when the doctors association met, my lord, the CM, the Chief Minister, my lord, then they requested transfer of the Commissioner Police, the DC North, the Director Medical Education and Director Health Service, all of them have been transferred. my lord,
They
from there.
wanted resignation,
Now-
my lords.
Now resignation, dismissal, removal. So that's the whole problem.
But he was given a,
No, my lord, no.
the Commissioner of
It's
Police was
just that,
given a
for
promotion.
an inquiry, that somebody, suppose that is challenged,
That was the plea, my lord. The resignation
that,
was the plea.
would that even stand? Has
Demand.
action which is.
Right, this is what they want.
They're not making any such demand. Let them go and leave.
Just allow me. brother.
Demands, my lord.
Now, this is all of them signed it, but this is what they gave to us. We gave it to your
My
lordship.
lord,
on the last
may I
occasion.
just, your lordship will
Now, further, my lords, as and when, my lord, the CBI gives us, my lord, any information about any person, my lord, however high or low, of having been involved, my lord, in something, or that, my lord, his presence is not required, he should be removed, or he will be action will be
I
taken
would only
against them.
request, my lord, I would only
No
request,
difficulty.
I would request, my lord, them to give me those names in a sealed cover. I will pass it on to CBI.
No, until the state.
Just one, a 4th status report dated 30 September 2024 by the DIG, so head of branch, Special Crime -1 CBI, has been submitted to the court. The status report indicates the leads on the investigation, which are being followed up by the CBI, and the steps which have been taken in the course of the investigation. Next. During the course of the hearing, learned counsel appearing on behalf of the resident doctors have submitted their concerns to the effect that, uske pehle, I just don't say that, learned counsel, without at this stage, it would be inappropriate, at this stage, where the investigation is in progress, it would not be appropriate to set down the details of the investigation or the leads which are being followed by the CBI, since that would compromise the status and effectiveness of the investigation. Full stop. At the same time, learned counsel appearing on behalf of the resident doctors, don't say at the same time, the CBI, as it appears before the court, is conducting an investigation on two facets. First, the alleged rape and murder, which took place on 9 August 2024 at Ajikor Medical College and Hospital. And second, the allegations in regard to financial irregularities, which was also entrusted for the investigation of the CBI by the Orders of the Division Bench of the Calcutta High Court. Whether each of these are completely disconnected features, or whether there is a relationship between the two, is a matter again of investigation by the CBI. During the course of the hearing, learned counsel appearing on behalf of the resident doctors as well as their associations have drawn attention to the fact that several persons against whom there are serious allegations of misdemeanor in the medical college and hospital are still occupying positions of responsibility. The status report which has been submitted by the CBI indicates that several of these aspects are still under investigation. Responding to the submission of the doctors to the effect that the persons in positions of responsibility at the medical college and hospital should either be suspended or be directed to proceed on leave is a matter which would require examination by the state government as the appointing and disciplinary authority. Mr. Rakesh Dwivedi, learned senior counsel appearing on behalf of the state of West Bengal, has submitted that if the CBI would share with the state government such preliminary material which would indicate the complicity of any persons in positions of authority, the state government will duly take necessary action in accordance with law, consistent with the service rules and regulations. That apart, in the event that it appears that the irregularities which are noticed in the context cover not just the hospital in question, hospital and medical college in question, but extend to other such institutions within the state, within or outside the state, the court may be, the investigating team of the CBI may be informed along the modalities which have already been prescribed by the earlier orders of this court. Thereafter, the court may take a call on what further directions to the CBI would be required to ensure that the investigation covers other aspects which may travel beyond the incidents which have taken place at the Ajikor Medical College and Hospital.
I have a request to make.
Just record the IA number.
Now, sorry,
I have one request, Lord.
The fresh application being IA number
213387 of 2024.
213387
87.
of 2024,
September.
which has been filed in that regard,
Please.
is taken on the file.
Great.
Full stop. Details of the IA may be shared with the investigating officers of the CBI. Investigating officers.
My lord, your lordship may kindly record. My lord,
My IA number.
Because I have one request, Lord.
Now, just 1 second. Now,
I have one
a little bit time for Mr. Dwivedi. Mr. Dwivedi, between the last order and this order, today's hearing, what steps have been taken by the state of West Bengal for the installation of CCTV cameras?
We have filed an F.
2, for providing additional security. 3, for constructing duty rooms, which are separate from male and female doctors, for construction of toilets, for providing biometric access to critical areas of hospitals. What steps? What is the present improvement?
We have filed an affidavit, Lord, today, Lord, in the morning.
What have you
Now-
done?
Lord, we have shown the progress, Lord, in that, but we need some more time, Lord, to complete the task. Kindly have paragraph 8,
At page?
page 5. There have been some logistical delays, not because of release of funds and all that. Otherwise,
Floods
and
and floods in
massive floods.
the state of the.
You have to take
Still-
action now. How many new CCTV cameras have been installed? Tell us
Because
that.
we mentioned CC at page 5, Lord, Lordship, paragraph 8, last bottom, Lord.
Is it-
6178 were to be installed, Lord. 26% have been installed, Lord, up till, and remaining we are likely to complete by 10th of October, Lord. And so far as RG core is concerned, it is at page paragraph 11.
Here's that no part of the work is above 50%. Duty rooms, 49%.
That's right.
Washrooms,
Duty-
40%.
What
Lighting
is it?
arrangements, 33%. CCTV installation, 26%. Why is the progress so tardy? Because I mean, we have been monitoring this now for quite, since 9th of August. we are into
Because tender,
September.
etc., had to be floated because of all those, but we are like, we'll complete all this not by maximum 15th October.
You have said 31st of October, completed by 15th of October now.
I'm saying 15th. I've told them myself they wanted time to be 31st so that we don't have to revert back for more time. But I want your lordships to post it by 15th October, my lord, so that by that time, my lord, we can give your lordships. Most of the work will be completed, my lords. And so far RG Corps is concerned, my lord, duty room, my lord, tenders, etc. have matured, but we have to take permission
Who's
from
looking after
CBI.
who's now the principal at the RG Corps Medical College and Hospital today? Has somebody been appointed?
Dr. Manas Banerjee.
He's come from outside or he was a doctor within actually?
He's from Bengal only.
No, but he was within RG Corps or he's come in from
No,
some
he
other-
was 4 years back. He has been in RG
He
Corps.
was principal of Barasat Medical College.
Which medical college?
Barasat Medical College.
Barasat Medical College.
And later on, sir, he was, after this incident, we reviewed his reputation. I knew him. So he was earlier MSVP of RGKR almost 4 years back, very efficient officer. So we got him back as a principal because he was already promoted. And one of our best MSVP, Dr. Saptarshi Chatterjee, who was there in Bakura Medical College. We also got him. He's a young guy. He has developed quite a good reputation and comfort with the resident doctors. And both of them are very well educated within the
So you are the health.
He's the principal secretary, my lord, health.
The principal secretary health of Government of West Bengal, who is present in the course of the hearing, has informed the court that following the incident which took place on 9 August 2024, the state government has brought in 2 officers as the principal of the medical college and hospital and as the medical superintendent and vice principal. Full stop. These officers are bracket 1,
Professor Dr. Manas Banerjee.
Professor Dr. Manas Banerjee, who was earlier working as the who was earlier posted as principal at the
Barasat Medical College.
at Barasat Medical College, semicolon, and bracket 2.
Professor Dr. Saptarshi Chatterjee.
Professor Dr. Saptarshi Chatterjee,
He was posted as a MSVP of Bakura Sammelini Medical College.
who was previously posted as the medical superintendent and vice principal of the Bankura Medical College. The status report which has been submitted by the state of West Bengal indicates the following position in regard to the ongoing work at 28 medical colleges. 5 को एक copy कर लो. As regards the status of the work at the RG Medical College, the status report is in the following terms. Page 6 और 7 को BB. Though the state has indicated that the remaining work will be completed within a time frame of 31 October 2024. The court has been assured that all work will be completed by 15 October 2024.
We'll make all endeavors. Some little thing will
That
remain.
the state will make all endeavors to complete the work by 15 October 2024. To stop, the state shall positively ensure that work is completed by 15 October 2024.
It's not to push the point.
So,
The
in
irregular
RG
case has
Corps-
been going on for
in
at least
RG
2
Corps,
decades.
one moment.
If this irregular case has been going on for at least 2 decades, and if the individuals who have now been appointed have been
Look,
associated with
My lord, can the state please
then the
finish?
fact that the previous employment was not with RG Corps doesn't make a difference.
No, but
I know, but sometimes what happens is that merely because he was with RG Corps 4 years back,
Should they at least
he may not be involved in anything at all if these are.
So disclose whether the individuals had previous relationship with RG Corps. Let them at least disclose.
My lord, but that is the most shocking part of it. Because 4 years back, my lord,
You know what? Sometimes you need a person who is conscious of that particular establishment also. If that person is otherwise free of taint, and today the government is bringing in somebody from outside, there's no reason for us to suspect that a person who is deliberately brought in with a taint.
yes, my
Oh,
lord, we
yes,
took
my lord,
instructions
there was-
and we are told that immediately the doctors are not aware of any taint, but we will come back with specific instructions.
In RG Corps College, Lord, regarding duty room, Lord, the tenders have matured, but we need the CBI's clearance, Lord, because of the crime.
Mr. Solicitor,
I'm sure, Lord, will.
they need your clearance for completing the work in the duty room because you've lifted all the evidence now.
Whatever they were supposed not to do for first 5 days, they've done. Now, even if they do something more, we have no objection.
Anyway, you just communicated to them, that's all.
Yes,
there
yes.
is
Right,
one
Lord,
aspect.
it is the CBI which has stopped us, Lord, so we need permission, otherwise we would have done it.
my lord, 4 years back, when this
No.
particular person
We
was
have maybe
brought into
complete,
RG
we
Corps,
have more
my
serious
lord, he was
problems.
responsible for selling of babies. My lord, the matter is pending before the
No,
High Court.
this is unfair, this is unfair.
But it's not unfair.
Just 1 second.
I don't know from all these reports.
Actually.
Let CBI investigate.
You can't
Who are
make
you?
1 second.
No, no, I have the order sheet.
Just one
Where-
second.
Who is he?
1 second.
Represent?
Just listen to us. You can't just throw an allegation like
Yes.
that across the bar.
Responsible.
On the next date of listing, you show us something to indicate.
My lord, I'll show the orders where the DNA was conducted
Right?
by the High
Then
Court.
Put it on the record.
I'll put it on record.
The record. You can't just, otherwise
Oh,
we have
yes,
to,
sir.
we have to follow some order
Yes,
and
sir, I'll
procedure.
put it on record. I'll put it
Nothing
on
On the
record.
record. We are here. We'll immediately ask them to replace the
But
order.
he should also tell us what is his locus, my lord, from where he is getting
I mean,
information. my lord.
But my argument, it was.
All right, look, you put it on the record.
I'll
you
put it-
that's it.
And which party does he represent?
I have a submission.
Because may I have a very important request to make?
Correctly.
My learned friend said that all doctors have joined, but they have joined, but only they are performing emergency
Oh,
work.
just a minute, Milord, this is
They
a
are-
false statement. It's a false statement
All
and they've
right.
admitted it in their affidavit. Milord,
Very
Indira Jaising,
Yes.
Senior Counsel appearing on behalf of the resident doctors, has made a solemn statement that pursuant to the hearing which took place in court on the last occasion, all doctors have rejoined their duties.
Milord, they were the expression that I've used.
Responding to the statement of Mr. Rakesh Bedi.
They are not doing IPD and OPD.
Second,
That learned senior counsel appearing on behalf of the state of West Bengal, that the doctors are not performing
IPD
the
and
IPD and OPD duties, Ms. Jaising assures the court that the
That's-
doctors are
that's-
performing all duties without exception.
including all essentials and emergency services, that may be recorded.
All
No,
duties.
Milord, because there's a dispute over the expression. The essential services are being performed.
You're not performing only essential services, right? You're performing all duties, we take it from you. You're
And they've admitted it in their own affidavit.
you're performing all
No, we
duties.
have said not IPD, OPD.
Look, this is part of the threat
Anyway,
culture.
I'm not accusing, but I'm only
This is
praying with
part of
folded
the
hands. to
organization of the
doctors.
doctors, Milord.
So therefore, we have recorded your statement that
Mr.
you are
Puja.
performing all duties. So now abide by the statement.
And second,
performed by the senior doctors.
now, Milord, one,
My lords, they've admitted it in the affidavit that the junior doctors have rejoined. So
No,
where is
Where is this? Please show us the
Oh,
page
they
number,
have.
para number.
you know it, to
Rather-
your knowledge, they have rejoined, to your knowledge.
Please show us.
Words kindly be seen, my lords. What we have said.
A statement that they are willing, that they are ready, that they are doing all
No,
work.
they are not doing so.
Yeah.
Milord, please, this cannot be allowed. Let him file a separate application for
Para
any.
17.
Ms. Jaising, are you making a statement that you are performing IPD and OPD work?
What? Yeah, yes, here's my statement. Please record it as I say it. They are performing all essential and emergency
What is
services.
essential?
Let me finish.
Who will decide?
Essential services includes OPD. Essential
No, not
services
like-
too. 1 minute, Milord, they should know better than me. They're
Junior doctors are
doctors.
very important for
They
the
should
health
know better
system.
than me.
Hospitals cannot.
If according to you, you are performing all essential services.
Yes.
We record your statement which
That's right.
includes IPD and OPD.
OPD is part of essential services.
Right.
It's,
Likewise,
I
inpatient
want it
department
on
also.
record, Milord. I want it on record that they are performing emergency and essential services. That's the medical name. Milord, it's the medical name given to this service.
But will that mean that you will not render services to a child who comes in with a normal ailment during the term of the weather, but you will try and save
No.
the dying patient?
No, Milord, no. OPD
You are
falls within
supposed to
essential
work
services.
in the hospital, which any
OPD
doctor
falls
does.
within
Your
essential
lordship may
services.
say all
Milord,
essential services, including IPD, OPD.
it's not the way. They have admitted that we are back at work.
No,
If
we
you
are not.
continue like this, I will take no responsibility for one more
But
strike.
therefore, 1 second. Are you stating that you are performing all medical and essential work, including IPD and OPD work?
Because it's part of essential service. No, Milord, your lordship may record that. I don't want confusion.
Ms. Indira
I don't want to
has
make any false
categorically-
statements in this court.
Categorically stated that all the doctors are and shall perform all medical and essential work, including
PD.
IPD and OPD work.
Yes, I'm grateful.
My lords, in all of this, there have been 2 attacks. On the 27th of September in Shagor Dotto Medical College Hospital, there was an assault when the mob entered and the police and the non-state security personnel, the Ratire Shati said, that they are doubling down on, stood back. So my lords, there is
But
a
you
second
stood
attack
back.
that happened yesterday. My lords, if I may just...
That you are investigating. This is not a general investigation into what is happening on issues of law and order in every hospital.
Yes.
But we take it that you are taking action in accordance.
We have
with
filed
Can
a-
have been
My lords,
arrested,
in this
FIR
regard,
because
action
the-
is not
the
being
two
taken.
versions are that a patient died because, my lord, he was not provided bed. He was critical. No doctor attended.
No,
No
my lords, these
doctor-
these allegations cannot be
But
made,
there
my
is-
lords.
there are-
These allegations cannot be made, my
But surely we can't decide them on the level of the volume of the voice. He'll have to decide it if it all after records come before us.
Exactly, my lord.
Yes.
There are no records.
There's an assertion by the state, you're denying it.
We have put
Yeah,
it on
Lordship,
record, let them reply.
Lordship was physically away,
Fine.
but I'm the nearest proximate.
No, I'm the nearest.
There are.
All right.
Just a minute.
Your Lordships, may I?
All right,
Just one
Mr. Solicitor, when will you give us the report on the status of the
Whenever,
investigation?
next,
We'll take it up on the Monday after the mini break of the court. So that will give you almost 10 days time to investigate.
can it be Tuesday?
Your Lordship,
May I
just hear me for a second.
Your Lordships, may I mention?
Lord,
that
please
I-
hear me for a
Given the
second.
sensitive nature of the pictures, I've taken those back.
Your Lordship,
One second. Is it in relation to the state of West Bengal and the RG Kaur
Your
hospital?
Lordship, this is very.
One second. Yes or no?
No.
Then that is the end of the matter. Sorry. No.
Your Lordship,
Not a word.
So, no, sorry.
Not a word of clarification that the High Court can proceed with the other petitions, my lord, which are outside the remit of what your lordships are supervising.
Yes, we are not.
No, but
If we-
that's a, last time they said. it's
Keplani,
before the
if we
Supreme Court.
wanted the High Court to stay its hand, we would have indicated that right away.
So, but
We didn't. It's a-
can we have a specific?
There are issues of moment which we are considering. There are issues which are best left to be handled at a local level by the division
Exactly,
bench.
my lord, just.
But they also know that issues which we are dealing with, they will not touch.
My lord,
Other matters they can.
last time they had a difficulty. I was personally appearing in the matter in the Calcutta High Court.
What was the issue?
The difficulty was, is this also, the case was about the police commissioner's statement immediately on the morning of, as he exited from the hospital, giving an interview disclosing the victim's name.
Somebody will have to file a writ petition.
Yes, my lord, we filed a writ petition to the High Court.
Have we stayed the hearing of that writ petition? We have not. Have we transferred that writ petition?
No,
to
your
us
lordships
as-
have it. But a word of clarification, the difficulty. But yeah, your lordship, they only say this. Anything outside the remit of what your lordships have said.
Mr. Jetmalani,
Yes.
Mr. Dwivedi,
My lord,
if there's a repetition dealing with the police commissioner's conduct, we are not staying the proceedings before the High Court at all. So please, neither side should tell the court that, well, we are seized of that matter. We are very clear that the repetition which has been filed,
But will your lordship say that anything outside the remit of what has been said?
It's not required to be said.
the High Court is seasoned enough to know what
But
not
last
to
time-
enter upon.
Last time we said that they were not going into.
Now we have made our position clear.
The National Task Force, we directed to file the.
Mr. Solicitor, now, could we have the report of the National Task Force on the next date?
Can be.
Because then we can issue broader directions
Yes,
for
sir.
implementing.
Correct.
So please
I
make sure,
communicate, my lord, through.
because we had said that an interim report and the final report, now we should have actually both.
my lord, on the task
When do
force.
the work to?
Mr. General, the Solicitor General shall place on the record the outcome of the proceedings before the National Task
My
Force,
lord, Lordship,
or at least apprise this court on the status, on the progress which has been made.
my lord, but your Lordship will just give me 1 second on the task force
Why-
issue.
Dr. Joshi from Medical Legal Society of India.
Sorry,
Dr. Rajiv Joshi from Medical Legal Society of India.
have you filed an IA?
Yeah, we have filed an intervention.
What is your IA for? How are you concerned with RG Kaur Medical College?
Arjikor in general violence all over India that is happening.
That we will take up. We'll go step by step. We'll first deal with
submit
RG
three
Kaur, we'll
documents
deal
for
with
your-
the state of West
My
Bengal.
lord, may I just have-
We'll deal with this at a little later stage.
Have to
Yeah.
submit three documents for your consideration.
Just
Your
a
Honor.
single word on the question of the task force. My lord, I have already filed an IA. I have no problem if it's taken up on the next date. But the point that we've pointed out there is the task force doesn't have any representation from West Bengal. We have made a humble request to this court.
Everyone
To
can
one
represent.
second, please. That is the task force is constituted by this honorable court. The members' names have been put by this honorable court. Only this court can alter the composition of the task force. It's a humble request to include into the task force at least one representative from the state of West
See,
Bengal.
if you-
1 second.
One second, now will you,
Pick up your-
both sides, will you please hear us?
Yes,
The task force is not state specific.
it's
The
not.
task, one second.
That's right.
We are going to issue directions based on the report of the task force,
Yes.
which will have pan-India application.
Yes, my lord.
If we agree to your suggestion, we will have to include representatives of every state in the task force.
Oh,
Therefore, just 1 second,
Yes,
therefore we have directed that the task force shall engage with stakeholders.
I understand.
Please address an email on behalf of the resident doctors, both juniors and seniors in West Bengal, to the task force.
Yeah.
The cabinet secretary and his team are coordinating all logistical arrangements. They will ensure that you are heard by the task force and all your inputs are taken into account. Please rest assured.
Fully agree.
Your Honor, I want-
And just 1 minute, my lord. One.
Papers.
My lord, just 1 minute.
This is not like what happens, in
No,
a
wait.
conference of doctors. It's a court of law.
Yeah, that's.
You will speak when you are called upon to speak,
Also.
right?
Uh,
Yes, yes.
Here, you can talk. My lord, just one more thing. I understand what has been put to me, that it's an all-India task force, and therefore every state can't have a representation. However, having regard to the fact that this incident arose in West Bengal,
Just do this, Ms. Jaising. Please write an email right away to the convener of the task force. If they have not heard already, the resident doctors from West Bengal, please request for an urgent appointment. you can then have a few representatives of all the associations meet them and give them a complete appraisal of what your concerns are, what your inputs are to the work of the task force. It will be a welcome suggestion, and they will give you a hearing. The Solicitor General is there, he'll communicate it to the Cabinet Secretary.
Would your lordship consider, second, please, let me finish. Would your lordship consider appointing a sub-task force for West Bengal so that the specific issues which have arisen in West Bengal, which are not common to the rest of the country, can be looked into?
You see, all the members of the task force are people of unquestioned national
I
standing.
don't question it, Lord.
And therefore, the only point which you have made, which is a valid point, which is that the concerns specific to the doctors in West Bengal should be taken into account. Therefore, Ms. Jaising, all that you have to do is to address an email to the Cabinet Secretary. They will ensure that at the next meeting of the task force, representatives of all the resident doctors are heard by the task.
I will convey this to them for sure.
We're going to do that, my lord, on the next occasion.
On the next date of hearing, I'll briefly mention what they are. We do not want nomination of students, interns, and doctors. We want them to be elected representatives on the monitoring committee, the grievance committee, and the other committees. Your lordship may take it up for hearing. The state has committed to facilitating elections.
Right, but therefore, this can be really addressed to the task force itself.
No, my lord, not to the task force, to your lordships. I have put it in
My
the
lord, we'll do it on the next occasion, my lord.
It's part of the agreed minutes.
Grateful, Miss.
Oblige me.
It's part of the agreed minutes, my lord.
We're not now going to go into whether election should be held, nomination should be made.
It has to be done, my lord. It
We
can't
must
be.
also understand, the remit
It
of
can't be
our
nominated
unit.
people on the,
My lord,
on
please
these
submit on the
committees,
next
my lord.
occasion. On the
These
next occasion,
committees
please.
cannot have nominated people. They have to be elected, my lord.